Okay, welcome back, and another session of grinding for the golden nut. I was kicking myself a bit, to be honest, because I did all of that exploration looking for hard drives and sonos loops and things like that. If I'd just optimized things to be producing some of the heavy hitter parts again, we could have been earning awesome points the whole time. But never mind. So you're Somas looping in order to do that. You know what, though? I was thinking, I have a lot of these things backed up. Yes, I don't have many things spare. I've got AI limiters all backed up there. Like, I don't have spare overhead, should I say. But I have a lot of spare things. So we can chuck this to make like 2 per minute, please. A 1.88 is your maximum. Okay, well, in which case, we'll give you one of those, and now make 2, please. Now you can make 4 per minute. And if these run empty, I don't care. This is running off excess anyway, pretty much. So, let's just do that, make lots of supercomputers, because I need them for 2 different work streams. So we're using 0.75 per minute. Let's bump this, so we're making... So we're using 1.5 per minute adaptive control units. We're making 2 per minute. Yeah, that's what I thought. So let's bump this to 1 per minute. So that's the 2 per minute that we're using. Good. And in fact, we could probably bump that further for now, just to work our way through the backlog. We're now making 4 supercomputers per minute as well. This is probably also a thing that I could just say make more, just for the sake of making more, right? So we're only doing 5 per minute of those. And I have to feed some of the stuff in manually because I didn't divert. Or what I should actually do is now just divert things because you're one of the most important things. I noticed rubber is now running emptier. Insofar as, you know, we've got a massive backlog there anyway. And that's because this is now burning through 40 per minute to create 10 per minute of those. I wonder if I don't care about that anymore, though. That's the thing, because we worked out that these don't actually sync for as much. So we pulled the Somas loops, which is kind of downgrading these. Honestly, I could also just make more rubber, quite frankly, because I do have that ability. What do we got over here? So yeah, because rubber was coming this way as well, but we're no longer making any turbo motors. Oh, I should have put the... I dumped a bunch of radio control units, and I should have used these. That's annoying. I put a bunch in the sink, I think. And I should turn them into turbo motors, because I bet that the turbo motors sink for a lot more, right? Okay, we've still got a few. 2... Yeah, we're not Somas looping it anymore, but that's fine. I would love to Somas loop literally everything, but I don't have enough of them. I have 2 spare currently. There are probably some others around that I could be using, but I'm not sure where they all are. It'd be nice if there was an easy way to locate them. Does my... I don't suppose my object scanner works. That's not my object scanner, this is. Let's go Somas loop. Yeah, it'd be nice if this actually worked to locate them in my factory, because I've lost track of where they all are. What was happening over here? We did create a bit more nuclear pasta. I think we fired that up. Oh, you've got... Oh, hang on. Are these all Somas looped? Oh, there's all my Somas loops. They're just sitting around doing nothing. Okay. Good. Now we've got a ton more. Excellent. So you are doubled already. You are doubled already. What else was I going to double? But I could now double you 2 again. Why not, eh? Why not, indeed. Okay, let's just do those again. Because they were about, what, 60,000 per, I think? So that's nice. That's another 120,000 per minute. That'll be handy. Ah, man result. Good. Turbo motors I can now double as well, while I've still got a few more radio control units. I probably want to actually make radio control units again, to be honest. think I was making radio oscillators over here. They should be in here. Yes. I can't remember what else it needs. Let's just plonk this down here for the sake of it. Just to see, what did we have? We had a couple of things. Okay, that would be more rubber. We don't want that. That would be computers. And it's like 1 per, makes 2.5 per minute. So we'd have to ferry the aluminium casings manually. Just, you know, doable. It's fine. Because we can redirect computers here. I don't know why I've got this whole weird thing going on here. Let's just simplify this a little bit, shall we? So you just go here. You can't do straight, apparently. Let's just do that. But you're pretty straight. And then just do a splitter in line here. Go up a bit more. Just zoink. Yeah, over the top of everything. Nice. Not even clipping. Fantastic. And then your oscillators. I have enough room to just do that. We might still want to have a container. We'll just line it up with this. Let me just do that. Interesting that straight doesn't come out left and just kind of do a nice S. It just messes up entirely. It's weird. Okay, well, and default just works, so let's do that. Put these back in here. Okay, the tricky thing here is we make only one at a time. How does it split? You know what? I think we don't put the splitter there. I think the splitter should go after the container. I'll just do that there. Bring that over there instead. Because that way just a steady stream can come out. So we make one at a time, but it's 2.5 per minute. I'll also double this if I felt I needed to. But I've got a huge backlog, so that's fine. We're doubling this. We don't even need to... We want to... I mean, Somas looping is great, but we can actually just say 1 per minute to produce 2 per minute, and I think that's acceptable. Because I think we're only using 1 per minute each way. Still using 4 per minute computers, which is a lot more than we can make. We can go hunting for more Somas loops and just continue doubling everything as well. So aluminium casings and crystal oscillators. I put all my aluminium casings into a sink, but I can go get more. Maybe I should do a big container even of these. Can't hurt. Alright. And then power. Interesting. You know what? Let's do power pole here in line and just bring this across here. Go. So you're now making radio control units. I'll tell you to double them for now. Let's go to our aluminium base, because then I can probably tell overflow to go to... Actually, I think I'm already doing overflow over there. Also I think quartz was a thing. Yeah, you. Also, I seem to remember reading that excess of these was really good. I've got plenty of space on me, so let's just dismantle this just to set it a little bit further away. That there. And then have you coming out there. And now have you smart splitter. Put you all back in there, thank you. I do want to take some of those with me, I think. Similar thing with silica. So let's just have you also a little bit further away than where we were. Those back in there. also have a smart splitter. We could even not bother with a smart splitter. We could just do a splitter, to be honest. We're making 45 per minute. I don't know how many we use in terms of making crystal oscillators. We're not using any silica though, so we can actually just do it as just a straight splitter here. The idea being that we're not actually using anything anyway. And then we'll just have a merger over here. It's going to be twisted, which isn't good. Apparently that's fine. Okay. Mark 1 there. And then have you face that way. Should we just make this a normal splitter now? We do actually want to capture that though, so we do want this one to just be an overflow to the right. I've got the materials, that's fine. And now we need an awesome sink. You down there. And we're not going to care about... let's do 4. And now you get powered. So, I mean, that at least it's doing something, right? Because if these things aren't going to be making enough, yeah, I may as well at least be getting points from it. 75 per minute raw quartz. How many are we digging up? 120. I also have a ton of power shards if I think I needed to increase that. So we can just make that 180 for the sake of it. We're using 75 and 45. I mean, well, we can't do more though. We're already double overclocking both of them. I'd have to make another constructor to use more. It's one of those things where, again, I may as well. Production, constructor.
A few minutes later.
Okay, and then that's fine. You just do you. That's all good. This should be combining efficiently enough. Alright, and then we can take these back with us anyway. I didn't come here for this, I came here for aluminium. Never mind. Let's go to our aluminium outpost instead. We'll be going via our biochemical processing as well. So I just want to see what we've got going on here. We have casings actually coming all the way up to this base, come to think of it. So we can collect them from here if we're not using them. Yeah, perfect. Good. And then what were you doing? You were... Oh, we've gotten more service loops in here. You were making fused modular frames. Which will be worth more than heavy modular frames, I grant you. And you were coming in here. Yeah, we don't have any. And you were making these, which we're going to just put those in there in advance because we want them in here. And we will just double you up. 1 per minute, 80. So 80 trigons per minute. We cannot sustain that. But we also don't have to. And you were making cooling systems, which you would need rubber for, which we don't have. We don't have enough of anyway. Oh, but there's a ton in here. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder whether to just sink these cooling systems, but I can use them for turbo motors. But I have way too many of those, I think. And yeah, we didn't have any leftovers. Yeah, so assembly director systems I need to bring along. There's still some trigons there. We'll need to collect more. So we're going to have a little bit of busy work back and forth to make sure that we're keeping things topped up. Heat sinks though, yeah, we can probably divert you. We need to have an awesome sink over here. They don't take up much space, so if we just want to slap down, yeah, not much space, not many materials. Unfortunately, I can't do much with nitrogen. I guess I could package it, but that would require something to package it in, and I can't remember what that requires. So 60 per minute of heat sinks can just go in here now. Okay, let's get back to base in order to drop off all of the stuff in my inventory. So, before I forget, let's come over here. I think quartz crystals went into this one, which was for this, right? Yeah, there you go. So that'll get you underway shortly. So you'll be making a single crystal oscillator per minute. So then over here, you needed aluminium casing, so let's give you those and send you in there. Uses 40 per minute. We've got a Mark II to feed it. Perfect. You'll be making 5 radio control units per minute, which is a lot. And those are worth a decent amount by themselves, let alone going into other things, and we'll be putting them into turbo motors. Now, turbo motors themselves are worth a lot, but also can technically be used for other things. Oh, hang on, rubber is now empty because of... okay. I think a lot of that is down to this guy, who we don't really need to be making that much that quickly. Or let's just go and make more rubber over at our oil base, to be honest. I think that's honestly the real takeaway from this, is we need to just make more rubber. And that's kind of just fine, I think. Electromagnetic control rods. We were making 4 per minute. I can't even remember if I was using that many or not. But I'll take all of you out. 4 per minute. I think I was, but only because I'm doubling both of these, which maybe I just shouldn't. Yeah, 2 per minute, 2 per minute. Maybe we just pull you back and drop you to make only 5 per minute now. That reduces our rubber consumption at this end. It's just wanting to fill this container up again, though. I think we just get rid of this container. Because I was always putting containers on things, but the more I do that, the more it then has to just buffer. And then it's just wasting instead of just only going to the point of how much it needs. And then it can just back up on the conveyor belt up to this point. So you want to make sure that goes in there, because the buffer should be over here. Put those in there. Now we've got a weird sort of recycling thing going on here. So it comes out the bottom first, but also comes up the top. And then it comes out the bottom there. It's just so that anything sitting in the bottom can go back up the top as well as coming out. It's kind of weird, but it kind of works, so, you know. Let's actually just grab an entire stack of that, though, and just give that to you, and that'll keep you going for a while longer. Good. Hard drive, I forgot about that. Instant scrap. That's not very instant, is it? It is 300 per minute, though, so that's pretty good. Alternate heat-fused frame. So what does that currently use? Instead of nitrogen, we would use aluminium. Oh, instead of the casings, it uses raw aluminium. Uses it very slowly. That's fine. We're just unlocking as many alternate things as we can. I wonder if you even can unlock all of them. So now over here, yeah, you've run out of supercomputers, so let's put you in. You use 1.125 per minute, apparently. But let's not bother with that. 1.5 to make 1.5. Well, wasn't the idea to make this so it would be... Yeah, 2.25, 2.25, but let's just target production rate be 1, and then that's fine. Because that's all we're making. We're making 2 there, we're using 2 there. Cool. Now, I almost have 50 of them, in fact. 100, that is. So 100 of those I'll take with me, and we can just turn those into the other things. You finished? You are. Nitro rocket fuel? Wow, okay. So, fuel, nitrogen gas, sulfur, and coal. Oh, I see, it skips the turbo fuel step. Interesting. Okay. So you still end up with the compacted coal, which you're then not using. So that's weird. Uranium fuel unit. I don't think I care. Why should I care about you? I'm going to take you. Because you interest me. Okay, so now we can feed some of these into this. And we'll just run through them as quickly as we can. We don't actually care about collecting. That's where we now have this facing this way. And coming over... Oh, I can't quite reach. Okay. Okay, so we have it coming as far as this, and then there. And you can just feed straight into the awesome sink via that route. What are you looking like now anyway? So we had another big spike, that's where we fed in the excess control units, but now we're ticking along between 725 and 800,000 per minute. So that's progress. Let's fly up here though, because we've got another silicon factory up here. And we're producing a certain amount. What have we got? 30 to make 50, 30 to make 50, 60 coming out, but you're all underclocked. And I'm not sure if I'm even using 100 or not. A smart splitter at this point. Mark 3 this way, since that's a Mark 3 anyway. And then overflow to the left. And then we're going to ramp this up to 120. We're going to put in another one of these and ramp these up so it's 45 and 40. You know what? Let's just ramp it all the way up. 60, 60. If we can. Oh, 56.25. What the? Huh? How strange. Okay. Well, let's just make it 90. 54 becomes 90. That's odd. But okay. So this only needs to be 108 then. But we don't care actually, let's just crank that. This is a splitter here. So then we can have another constructor at this point. Coming off here. So 54 per minute, 54 per minute. Make you a Mark 3. You can make quartz crystals maybe as opposed to silica. The silica that way it can just merge into the same thing at least. But it's just like, okay, so 54, 54, 54 will be 100. We're making 180. That would only be 162. Which is weird. But we can tune this to make that different instead, right? So it's now 48, 84. It's 50.4, 82 is okay. This is disgusting. 75 is 45. Okay, so let's just drop it down to that because at least that's like reasonable. It's divisible, so it's 90 and 90. Or 90, which means we've got 90 spare. Right. Yes. Let's do that. And now we need to have a sink as well at some point. Let's just pop you down over here. We're going to have a merger at this point, feeding into that. So we can have a Mark 3 go into there, and then 4 coming out the other side. Right, so that gets rid of any overflow. Lovely. So we're producing 150 instead of 100 now. And then you, I think I want to do quartz crystal because it takes more in, right? Right? But it produces less out. 37.5 at normal? Yeah, that's got to be more. If we double overclock this, 75 with 45. Right. We have 90 available though, right? Is this 90? No. Well, kind of. 54? No, sorry. 54, not 64. 90. There we go. So that's the extra 90. Every little bit helps. So that's making 54 per minute, and each one is 50. So that's 2,500 per minute or something like that. It's not to be sneezed at, whatever it is. That all helps. Ah, you need to be upgraded. You need to be shot, I think. We just need to be a Mark 3 there. We've got 3 there, and then these are just 1s. Though this needs to be a 2. 45 to produce 75. These are 2s. That's a 3. That's a 3. That's a 3. Boom, boom, boom. Good. There's another quartz vein there, so we could just set up more just for the sake of that. again, I kind of may as well, right? Let's put a MAM down here so we can check on our hard drives first of all. Fused wire dark matter crystallization. Don't we already have that? Oh, it doesn't need diamonds anymore. Huh. Okay, so it only makes 30 per minute. It's less efficient, but it doesn't need diamonds. Interesting. That would have been handy a while ago, probably. But hey, we had the coal there anyway. So miner Mark II. Off here. We don't care about collecting anything. Splitter at this point here. So you are 120 by default. That becomes 180. We can go up to 300, not 360. We can go 240 though. Let's do that one there first, and then that one there, that one there. You, come over here. You, come over here. Which side? This side. Yeah. Mark 3 into there. We'll do Mark 2. We're only going to use 60, but we'll do that. Let's fire you up so that we're producing, we get that going, so we can fill up the conveyor belts while I'm dealing with this over here. And then we just have a merger here. And then we've already got a merger over here. So let's increase this to Mark 3. Bring that over here. And then have this over here. This is going to be too long, isn't it? Yeah. Very, very much too long. Okay. Well, then we just have it be conveyor belt Mark 3 over as far as this. And then lifter Mark 3 up to here. And then conveyor belt Mark 3 over to here. And I think we might need this to be a Mark 5 now. I don't think it needs to be, but it may as well be. And then we just have 2, 2, 2. And then have quartz. I don't even know what this should be. 40? No. 36? 36. Okay. Annoying that it's just over that mark. But never mind. Working in 3s is otherwise efficient, so that's fine. We could ramp it higher because this can also go higher. This is currently doing 240. If we made this 300 though, then that's 100 each way, right? Oh, we can only do 90 each way though, can't we? 75, 75, and 75 is what, 225? Oh, so we're already producing too much anyway. Yeah, 240. Oh yeah, I only needed 180. Yeah, so 225 is all this needs to be. Cool. So now our standard points is sitting at 3.2 million per minute because we've tied in the biochemical sculptures. That's not going to last. It'll last only as long as we keep filling it up. So how many of these do we have now? Because we're producing 2 per minute. We've got another 56, so that's good. You've run out of automated wiring because you have run out of cable. Okay, so we've got a big flow-on effect going on here. So cable goes in here. We grabbed way too much of it, that's alright. Stators we still have a bunch of, but we will need more. I don't think you have an excess though, do you? But yeah, so we're not feeding stators directly in, are we? No. That would be 5 per minute as well. Makes the 5 per minute automated wiring. Oh, we can at least pull the stack. Oh, but it's not even a stack, that's right. Ah. 2.5 per minute? What are you using? I mean, we're not even making all of you in 6 per minute. Okay. Yeah, we're never going to feed you everything anyway. 3 radio control units per minute, which we do actually make more than that. You're still churning away. You make 2 per minute crystal oscillators. You use only 1.25 per minute to make 5 of these per minute. So if we back that off, 1 per minute, make it so we only use 1 per minute. There we go. So we make 4 per minute. We'll get you fired up again. The motors is going to be the limiting factor. Let's just make target production rate of that 2 per minute. We could also double this actually. We could so this to double it if we wanted to. So that way stators won't be being produced completely. Rotors 4 per minute. How many of them are we making? I suspect. Oh hey, 4 per minute. Interesting. Let's just... We have the opportunity to just chuck in a couple of these. Wait for it to run through. Let it have a few cycles doubled. We can even do the same with like this as well, right? We can actually have you run through. But yeah, you're still a problem that all the way through here, right? It takes forever to come here. Oh, hang on, we're splitting. Oh, we're splitting. Where are we splitting to and why? Oh, these take 3 per minute of them as well. Oh. Okay, well I'm going to take your stack. Because you're all backed up on here anyway. So I'm going to take that stack instead. Alright, let's go this way again. I did not get a good run up into that. Yep, you stopped again. Oh, you ran out of fixite. Oh. Oops. Okay, yes, I was meant to collect some of that. Do I have some in here? Trigons? Yes, good. Let's get all of you out. I should just feed the dimensional depot those anyway, to be honest. So I always have an excess. That might be handy. Okay. That's interesting. Not the thing that I expected to run out. Right, and let's go back this way. I'm going to go over to my turbo fuel area. Now what do you got coming in here? We have a ton of plates and... Ah, rubber. That's right. We do have more rubber being produced from this one. That's right. And then we just have an overflow down here. We just have it splitting naturally. Rather than smart splitting or anything, because then we have a sink over here as well. Now, what's... Yeah, you guys are screwing up again. Again. Why? 10 per minute, 10 per minute. I've got the valves in here. I guess that means we could limit it the other direction. So like, here for example, we only need 10 and 10 cubic meters per minute. So if we limit this... Oh, but it's saying the flow rate is 14 anyway, and it needs to be higher. Okay, well, let's limit it to 20. Because we need... Yeah, so these are all shutting down as well, right. Yeah, I never actually configured the valves. I just used them to prevent backwash. So you should be a flow rate of 20. Let's actually go like 30 and 30. The key point is over here, right? You are producing 100 per minute. And I don't think you're running out of turbo fuel. Producing 100 per minute. You are producing... Maybe the compacted coal is running out again. Yeah, the compacted coal is running out again. Why? Why are you running out again? This was the convoluted thing. You use 24 and 24, 48. You are using 30 to make 30 turbo fuel. Am I even using 30? 15 and 15. I am using 30. But you are full. Okay. And then we can siphon off to package it if we want, which we kind of don't care about. I mean, we could be sinking this, right? Does packaged turbo fuel sink for anything in particular? Because I decided that fueling my drone on that would be excessive. It was going to be 18 per minute. canisters 18 per minute. We're producing 18 per minute with 9 per minute plastic. How much plastic were we producing? We were producing 30. So that's just to produce that amount of heavy oil residue. So we're producing 30 per minute. We can scale this down even further though. Make this only 15 per minute or something. I mean, we don't even need the excess power anyway, right? So we can bias it towards this. So 20. So 20, and then we have 16 left over. So then these just go 8. We want to use 8. .5 is the native. Okay, key point being, so then that's using 20 per minute. So this needs to produce 20 per minute. But that's fine, it should be able to do that. And then this comes off here. The idea is to come down here. Oh, this is a merger as well. Oh, right, okay. It's going into these, so we can just put it into this container over here, right? Like if we put a merger on here, and then have a lift do here, and then have this be a... I'm not even solving my power problem at the moment, I realise, but...
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Now, back to doing maths. We have 36 coming this way. We need 48 coming this way. Slightly less than 48 technically because we have a byproduct of 10 per minute. Theoretically we only need 38 coming this way, but 40 would be nice. So 40 and 36, so that's 76. What do we have coming in here? That's a Mark II. Either at some point it's only Mark 1, or we're not splitting it correctly further along. Okay, yeah, so you're all fine, and you're a Mark 3 or more, Mark 4 in fact, coming this way. You're a conveyor belt Mark 4? What? Because all this over here is just like coal power that doesn't matter. Like, it produces so little. What are each of you doing? 10 per minute. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there is 6 of you, so you're using 60 per minute. Oh, am I only producing 120? Is that the problem? Maybe that's the problem. Hang on, why would... You're running out of sulfur, what? So 25, 35, 25. So 50, 25, 35, 25. You're also running out of even coal. So 25, 25, 25, 25. That's 100. And then 50, 50, that's 200. No, 35, 35 is 70. So it's 170, right? 170, 180, you're a conveyor belt Mark II. I'm an idiot. That's the problem. I'm an idiot. Big surprise. Coal, what are you producing? You're producing 180? Let me guess. Mark III. Yeah, I made this a Mark IV, looks like. Even though it only needs to be a Mark III. And it was just because I thought that, oh, I need to increase that. And I did, but I didn't increase the thing feeding it. Okay. Well, that solves that problem then. We know what the issue was. Me. I'm the issue. Well, that will now solve that, I'm fairly sure. Because we're only using 60 the other way, we're making 170. So that leaves 110 to come this way. So 110, we're using like 40 one way and 40 the other way. So we're only using like 80, right? So yeah, once this stabilizes again, that should back up, but we need all of that to come through first. What are you? You're just a splitter, right? We could be smart splitting you off to here as well, right? We really wanted to. It's fine. We should go back to base and drop off all of our stuff as well. That's the other important thing. Doing... Okay, so then... Cable we still have tons of, which is good. Which suggests to me that rubber is not too much a problem. Okay, yeah, that's backed all the way up over there again, but that's kind of fine because that's where we expected it to be. Enough to have a few stacks spare, at least. Now, cooling systems, we can jump all of those in there. So we just keep track of them, basically. We're going to run out of motors again. Weren't we doubling those temporarily or something? No. We were doubling stators temporarily, I think. Yeah, okay, let's get rid of that. You're empty of everything now. Maybe we need to have cable feed into you directly. I don't know. Is that... Maybe that's unwise? I'm not sure. Because then I think you're going to use up everything. Because 100 per minute is like what this produces at full capacity, and we're not running it at full capacity. And then screws, you're like full, right? Yeah, okay. I'm just going to take you out manually and just dump you all in here. Just cause. There you go. Have those as well, why not? Oh, I can't. Have those and those. And those. Turbo motors I was going to put in here as well, actually. So you can have a big jump of turbo motors. Oh, we dropped all the way down to like 300 for some reason. Why? We're running out of a lot of things, I think. Oh, supercomputers, probably. Casings, there you go. That's what you were used for. You used quartz, that's right, which we still have an amount of. Got supercomputers down here. Good, we've got a few stacks. Time to distribute. So first things first, you have run out. I suspect, yep, definitely of supercomputers. Okay, so you have run out. So have one of those. So I'm guessing we've probably run out of fixite in 2 places. Or supercomputers over here. Which is it? We've run out of supercomputers here, there we go. But you could also have some extra of these. But you don't go through it as fast. The other one goes through it at like 80 per, so... This is the sort of thing I can just double, in fact, and that'll actually keep up with my demand, because I needed 80 plus 15. Boing! Right. You, fixite, here you go. And then you work through that as fast as you can. Interestingly, as fast as you can is still only 1 per minute. And I think I produce more than 1 per minute. There you go. 1.25 per minute? But now 100 per minute trigons. I mean, I could put a second blender down. I've got another blender right here. I could always change the recipe for this and have more water going in the side here. I mean, I could deconstruct it and completely move it around as well if I really wanted to. There we go. So we can have water or nitrogen going into this one. And then currently we have the casings going in there, but we can get rid of that connection. We have a storage container down the bottom, but we don't need to use it. And have that go along like that. It's ugly, but it'll work. Because we want to swap this over to this. Oh, but we don't have another... We don't have enough Somas loops to make best use out of it though, right? Okay, well you're not going to be doubling everything yet. But you will be. You know what, let's just stand by. Because we need the Somas loops first before we make that work. So what should I take out? I mean, I could take these out technically, but that's only 2. Oh, did we double these again? Ah, we did. Yeah, we can take these out. It's for a much greater good. That's the equivalent of an extra 60,000. The biochemical sculptures is somewhat far in excess of that. Cool. Cycled rubber dark matter trap. Time crystal instead of diamonds, I guess? Yeah. Okay, so it makes twice as many. Recycled rubber? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of nice. If you're not using plastic, then you can turn it into rubber. Alright, and then actually we'll use this one here to put the proteins in. And then this will start to, there we go, this will also zoom. Okay, so we're up to 40, well another 72 there. Okay, we're out of DNA points again. So how many do we have total now? 428, we're almost halfway there. That's good. Radio control units, we'll take those out. Oh, we're now out of computers, that's funny. So if we drop this down, so we're only making 2 per minute of those. That's just to allow the computers to back up here, because we do not want to run out down here, and we are running out down there. So let's hoover up these. So 2.5, you're now being relegated to only using 1. That leaves 1.5 per minute to come this way, and we're using 4 per minute. Wait, so this never was being satisfied, right? Oh no, that's because we bumped this. Right, because we knew we had excess. Right, okay. But that makes this a weak link. Also, we're running out of plastic now, interestingly. Maybe we do yank these again. We keep flip-flopping about whether to double these. I think I take them out again, and maybe we just double computers, just for the time being. Which seems silly, because I'm sure they don't produce as much, but the potential is higher. Okay, now we can put you in there and now tell you to go. Good. The other thing to look at is our power, and that's now flatline. Good. So we solved our power issues. Our rocket fuel is all steady. Whee! I love the little flick at the end. Oh, we're actually low on rubber again now. Ooh. Okay. Where's that all gone then? There's always something, isn't there? Yeah, and I need to be feeding you computers too, actually, so that's another 2 per minute. I've been leaving stuff in here. Like, I'm set for backlog still at the moment, but, you know, I will need you. So, that is a concern. Hard drive. Iron pipe or quartz purification. That's interesting. Makes dissolved silica. Ew. No thank you. That sounds disgusting. Construct an iron pipe though would be handy. Maybe we need to be able to make more computers. Or overclock you. But that means circuit boards, cable and plastic is now a problem. Do we have an alternative computers? We do. We have Deuterium computers. Maybe we make you somewhere else. Need circuit boards either way though. I don't know. It was bound to happen at some point. Then it becomes a case of what's our priority. If we're producing 2 per minute out of that, or do we back this off to be 0.5 per minute again? We only make 1 per minute, and we just only feed that into our director system over here, and we just completely ignore the whole quantum thing entirely. Maybe we don't use that at all. I mean, there's no point putting down a second one of these. All we would want to do is overclock this one, right? We just then have to make sure that we keep up with our plastic and our cables. We're running out of plastic, it seems. Oh, because plastic is splitting off here, isn't it? Yeah, we have 30 coming in and we were splitting it, and we're using 40 per minute currently. Which means 20 per minute comes this way. We're wanting to use 28 per minute down here. So that's the reason for this. And that's just because of how this is coming. So this actually needs to be a Mark II to come down here to be able to supply both. Which means this needs to be a lifter Mark II. Which means this needs to be a conveyor belt Mark II. Okay, but we've got tons of plastic. The problem was how we were feeding it, not how much we were using of it. Okay, no, that's fine then. And then we could theoretically double our circuit boards using this, so that we don't mess with our quick wire and plastic. And then actually make this like 12.5. Oh, those are disgusting numbers. What would it be for just 10? What is that? What even is that? Okay, fine. Let's just do that. We'll have way too many circuit boards. Whatever. That's horrible. Horrible numbers. Okay, we're now making 26.25 of those. Let's overclock this, so now we're producing enough computers. Okay, and then radio control units, we have way too many. It's an interesting problem to have. So these will eventually run out. We have a lot of turbo motors there. We're not feeding them anywhere automatically, but we could. But we could just manually just pull them out and stick them down here instead. And we'll enjoy seeing a big boom. Let's check on the, especially since we had a lovely spike, 64 million per minute, because we dumped in all of those turbo motors. So let's print out these. So we have 55 more, and we add that to here. 483, almost halfway. Okay, time to stop again for today. Let's go back up to our lookout for old time's sake. So for the 1,000 tokens that we need for the golden nut, we're almost halfway there. We have 480 odd. And it's just going to be a just steady back and forward and jumping around. It's mostly just a case of ferrying supercomputers from our production between this base and our quantum base. And then our fixite. I need to set up another fixite site, basically. Anyway, all of that are things we can consider next time. For now, we're going to save the game. What are we up to now? 110 hours.